Fight!
What's going on, guys? TW Gaming back on the mic once again, and today I'm doing another Dragon Ball segment. But today I'm going to be starting a new series on my channel. The Dragon Ball games are going to be talking about Dragon Ball games, and I'm going to be talking about, were they really that good? Or were they really that bad? Depending on what the game is that I'm talking about. And just to break down to you guys real quick how this is gonna work. This is gonna work as probably on a weekly basis. I'm probably not gonna do this more than once a week. Probably this will be my Friday videos from now. I'm trying to get my schedule together. It's just been a lot of stuff going on. But this series is basically, okay, yeah, I'll make it on Fridays. I'll make it my Friday video. So on Fridays, I'm gonna be uploading my these type of videos where it's like Dragon Ball games. Were they really this bad? Or were they really this good? And I'm going to be starting from the PS2 game Dragon Ball Z Budokai. And I'm going to be going in order of release date. So the Budokai series, the Tenkaichi series, Super Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Z Sagas, the PS3 games, and now Xenoverse, and all that. And every now and then I might throw in, maybe once I get done with the console games, I might do the handheld, depending on what this really turns into. Like, if it really gets good reception, then I'll go to the handheld and stuff like that. But I'm going to be focusing on the consoles for right now. So, a minute and 30 into this video, and we need to get into Dragon Ball Z Budokai 1. And we need to talk about, was it really that good? Because Budokai 1 was, all the Budokai games, I think, except Budokai 2 maybe, were critically acclaimed. Infinite World wasn't critically acclaimed really, but the fan base accepts it as either the best or one of the best DBZ games out there. And the Budokai series is regarded as one of the best, and I'm going to be breaking down Budokai 1 and talking about, was it really that good? You know what I'm saying? And we're just going to be getting into this. So it's basically like a mini review, but anyways though, let's get straight into this. Now let's start with the positive. Budokai 1 had some really great things going for it. For the time, at its time, the combat system was really good. Nowadays we go back to it and it's like, this is kind of stiff, this is kind of that. But back then, the combat system was really good, especially to be made in 2003. It was actually considered probably fast-paced back then, you know what I'm saying? This is the days where they were coming into a 3D type of environment. So this was not only a first for Dragon Ball games, but this was like the shift into it, like with Tekken and all that on the PS1 and stuff like that. So they were really bringing it into life, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to give the combat system a plus and a minus. And I'm going to be talking about the minus later, but that's for the plus. For the story, it only went through the Cell Saga, but because it went through the Cell Saga, it did really good on focusing on every single battle. And when I say almost every single major battle is in this game, I mean it. Like, almost every major battle is in this game. And that's what I really like. But even after you're done with the main story, you can go back into missions that were actually not there during your main story playthrough, in which you get what if missions. One of them was like, what if Vegeta went Super Saiyan while he first came to Earth? What if Cell fused with Krillin? It was all kinds of wacky stuff. And that's what Dimps is good at. They're good at making what ifs. And it started in Dragon Ball Z Budokai 1. So I give the story a plus. The cutscenes are great. They hold up well even to this day. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially on the HD version, the cutscenes are great. Like, the motions are fluid. The sound is mixed well. Like I said, it goes through pretty much everything. It's just, the cutscenes are great. I'm just saying that. So the story as a whole is great. I already touched on the gameplay. Let's touch on the character roster. Like I said, this game only goes through the Cell Saga, so the character roster is kind of limited. But one thing that it does get right is it includes every single major character from the Saiyan Saga to the Cell Saga, except maybe like Kui or something like that. but he's not really major. But they even have Dodoria, Zarbon, the only Budokai games that these guys appear in. I think the only Dimps games they appear in is Budokai 1. And that's really weird, you know? It's the only game they actually make a playable appearance in. They got Zarbon, Dodoria, they got all the Cell forms, all the Super Saiyan forms, including Super Vegeta and Super Trunks, you know what I'm saying? I think they're the only Budokai games to do that. I think Burst Limit had it, and I don't think Infinite World had it. I know Budokai 3 didn't have it, and Budokai 2 didn't have it. So yes, they replaced Super Trunks with Super Saiyan 2 for some reason. But yeah, these the only games that have Super Vegeta and Super Trunks. I got Super Saiyan for Goku, Super Saiyan 1 and 2 for Gohan, of course. They got all the transformations for Piccolo, which really weren't transformations, but Dimps counts them as transformation, you know what I'm saying? So they really went through everything. They went really good with the character roster. And let's talk about the gameplay modes. There wasn't a lot to do in Budokai 1, but it wasn't bad either. Like I said, you could replay the story multiple times well, not really multiple times, but you can go back and replay the story in order to do the what's called the what if missions that they had. They also had the tournament in which you grinded there for money, Zenny, in order to get Dragon Balls and skills and stuff like that from the shop. So you could grind that, and then they had dual mode. They had player versus CPU, CPU versus CPU, and player versus player. And like I said, the character roster was good enough so that if you enjoy that type of gameplay, you can really play for almost endless hours with that character roster, because all the characters are balanced and everything. The gameplay is fun. Well, it was for that time standards. And yeah, and let's get on to the negatives now. Now the negatives aren't that many. Like, I really went over everything, you know what I'm saying? So the negatives are really just nitpicky things. Like I said, with the gameplay definitely feels dated by today's standards. Like I said, it was pretty good for back then, but for today's standards, the gameplay feels slow, sluggish, heavy. And I really don't like to go back and play Budokai 1, especially when I have something as fast-paced and frantic as Budokai 3. But that doesn't mean that Budokai 1's combat system is nowhere even near, you know, lacking or bad. It's just dated. It just feels dated, you know, especially compared to later entries in the Budokai series, such as Budokai 3, Infinite World, even Budokai 2, you know. So yeah, the gameplay feels dated. I can't really say anything bad about the story. Like I said, they really go through everything. The game modes are kind of lacking, especially because in other DBZ games, well, other Budokai games, they not only had story mode, dual mode, and for Budokai 2 and 3's case, World Tournament mode, but they also had an extra mode in there so that you could actually do something else besides the story mode. Budokai 1 didn't really have that. It was just story mode, dual mode, or World Tournament, the standard. But they really didn't have anything to make it stand out in terms of game modes. So that's really a negative for me. There was really nothing to do once grinding for money got tiresome. So, you know, there was really nothing to do in it. The replay value, even though I did say you could play endless hours on end, that means you really had to be really invested into the combat system and grinding and stuff like that, because actually sitting there and playing Budokai 1, I personally can't do it for hours. It really gets boring after about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, you know, maybe an hour, you know, at tops. I can play Budokai 1, but I really can't play through Budokai 1 that much to me because of the combat system. It's just because of the combat system. It's just dated. You know, the music is great though, the cutscenes are great, and I mean, the RNG in the shop is bad, but like, that's like that in all Budokai games, but I'm gonna bring it up in every single one. I hate RNG in the shop. At certain points in the story, you should put certain things in the shop, and once I get done with certain parts of the story, maybe once I do a certain amount of world tournaments or something, you should put this in the shop, and it should always stay in the shop. It should never have to be RNG. I hate that about every single Budokai game. It gets on my nerves, and I keep having to go in the shop, go back out the shop, go in the shop, go back out the shop. And you can literally spend hours looking for that one skill you need. And it's like, that's annoying. Just put them right there always. Like, you know, they're always there and you can always buy them. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Budokai 1 overall is not a bad game by any means, like I said. Nowhere near a bad game. So in no way am I saying that. All I'm saying is that it could have been a lot better, even for its time's standards. Budokai 1 could have been a lot better. Luckily, the next few entries in the series really improve upon Budokai and make it what the great success that it is today. So, you know, even though Budokai 1 is still, for some reason, some people's favorite way to play Budokai, and I'm like, why? Like, why? I can't do it. But, yeah, let me know what you guys think about this series. Let me know what you guys think about Budokai 1. Do you think it was good? Do you think it was bad? Do you think it was just meh? Let me know. Let me know some of your pros and cons in the comment section down below. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.